Welcome back. Next up, on to part 7, adding descriptions. So what we want to happen here is that when we play the game right now, it doesn't display anything about how this is actually scored. There's no description. And if you don't know by heart, which most of us probably don't, how many points are we supposed to get for chance or for 4 of a kind? It should explain it over here. And then once we actually have a score registered, it should no longer display it. So it should say 6s. I don't remember what 6s actually is. So small straight, I think, is 30 points. So it should say that. Scores 30 points for a full or for a small straight. You click, then your score shows up. So it's actually not that difficult to add in. The most annoying part is going to be writing those descriptions. So in our score table.js, where we're creating all these rule rows, we could pass in a description manually here. And it could be something like 4 of a kind. Let's see, description should be, what is it for 4 of a kind? Sum all dice if 4 are the same. And we could do that for every single one. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the rules.js file and add in to each one of these exports, each one of these class instances, a description that we pass in. So we'll have access to that description, and then we can just dynamically grab it. Because we're already using all of these classes to dynamically grab their eval role, which we're using in the score table, eval role. Let's do the same thing with description. So I'm going to just fast forward and add a bunch of descriptions in. Here we go. So for ones, description, 1 point per 1, 6 points per 6. Sum all dice if 3 are the same for 3 of a kind. Sum all dice if 4 are the same for 4 of a kind. Full house, you get 25 points. Small straight, 30 points for a small straight. Large straight, 40 points. Yahtzee, 50 points. Chance is a sum of all of the dice. Okay, so we're exporting that description now. So we don't have to change anything down here. We're exporting the entire variable. So that instance, that object contains description, and we can use it instead of score table. I'm going to go to every single rule row that we have here. So I have now made space on all of them at the same time, and I'm going to say description equals, and then it needs to be the name. This part's annoying. In our case, ones.description, twos.description. So I'm just going to type dot description and then quickly edit these to be ones.description, twos, and I'll fast forward. Okay, I finished all of that. So now we should have access to that description string under the prop description in rule row. So let's go back to rule row and let's grab description, make its own variable from the props, expanding on what we did in the last video. And then what do we want to do with it? Well, let's display it, but where should we display it? Well, let's begin by just ignoring the score and just putting it here and making sure we're actually seeing the description, and we are. But then if you click, we're never actually putting the score there. So we want to conditionally put description there, and we want to put score there, depending on the disabled attribute or the disabled variable we already created. So if it's disabled, that means that there's a score there. So we should display a score because score is not undefined, show it. Otherwise, put the description there. So now at the beginning, no scores. We see all descriptions. We can play the game. 3, 4, 6. Let's hope for a 5. Great. Oh, we got 2 as well. So that's a large straight. I should get 40 points. And I do. We see 40 there. All of our styling from the last video still works, but now we are showing and hiding the description based off of if there's a score to show. So we show that score instead. All right, so that's all there is. The most annoying part was just typing those descriptions.